Now you're probably wondering, where's Tricky been?
Well, first of all, I finished the wall job over in Felixstowe. Then it was a trip down to Bury St Edmunds where we hired a digger, made a massive hole in the ground, pegged and shuttered the outside. Before the ready-mix concrete turned up on site, we filled up the hole with C25, then tamped it right down, levelled it right away across. Then while I was there, I was asked to do a trench for the services. I brought and fitted a mirrored door from my secret room in my bedroom, completed my bedroom media wall, before finally going back to Ipswich again to complete the block paving, but I couldn't do it because it was raining.
And now I'm back in Wales, back at a house I started a little while ago. It's really come on since I've been away. It's going to be a bit like MTV Cribs. Last time I was here, this was all just building site in here, but now it seems to have improved one hell of a lot. We've got rooms that have been plastered, fixtures and fittings going in, room after room after room, bathrooms, tiles going on the wall. Wow. Stairs going up there to the loft space. But have a look at this for a big ass kitchen. Woo! Wow. Something else. Do you like the media wall? Very similar to one at Tricky's, eh? Look at that. That's something else, eh? Bit of a difference, but I'm not working on the inside. Of course, I'm going on the outside. So let's show you what we're doing round the back. Yeah, we're here to do, as you can probably tell by the amount of slabs we've got here. Tricky's here to do some slabbing. It's all changed round the back as well. Remember last time we were here, it was absolutely pouring down with rain. Well, it's looking a bit different now. Scaffolds down, bricks look absolutely awesome. We've got a big patio to do. The man himself. Morning, morning. Chrissy's here, how you doing, bro? We've got a big ass patio to do here. The man cave has increased somewhat, ain't it, Chris? It was tiny before. But the patio area we're doing, I'm taking it, we're doing all of this area, are we? We've got a lot to do here for a start. A hell of a lot of slabs to go down. So, without further ado, let's get going. Oi, oi. Being a bricklayer can be thirsty work. Working in the hot weather can leave me tired and fatigued. Sometimes I need a drink that's not just going to give me a quick burst of energy, so I want to talk to you about Holy. Holy is a brand new drink that's sweeping the UK, packed full of natural flavours with no added sugar. So why not join the Holy squad and get your free shaker and loads of flavours to try in the one and only Holy starter pack. My favourite is the Hydration Cranberry. Fill your unique Holy shaker with some water, put the sachet of powder into your cup, screw back on the lid securely, then shake it up like your Tom Cruise in Cocktail. Come on! Once you've given it a damn good shake, sit back and enjoy that fruity goodness. Oh boy, that's good. With hydration, energy and iced tea available, you'll be spoilt for choice. Holy is a hell of a lot cheaper than other energy drinks. You'll also get 10% off with the code TRICKY and £5 off your first order with the code TRICKY5. Holy, join the drink revolution. I've left links in the description and it's pinned to the top of the comments. Well, for the first time ever down here in Wales, the sun is shining, I've got my shirt off, tattoos are out. I've got a big chunk of the slabs down there now, running them all in. We're mixing some SBR in that mix as well to stop the shrinkage in the muck, and then they'll stay in there nice and firm and solid. But now what we've got to do, because we've got a bit of a fall on this patio from, I'm going to stand up here to show you. So from these levels where I am now, if I continue at that level, we're going to end up probably about a foot higher than that door over there. So the lads now are scraping back some of the type 1. We're going to have an echo channel run right the way along, all the way along the front of this to stop any water going in, similar to the last job I did. But we're going to run our line from here down to the top of the echo channel, and then we'll flow it down nice and smooth. Because as I say, if we keep it at that level, it's going to be way too high down the bottom. So we'll gently drop that down now. It's not a foot, I exaggerated that. It's probably down about, it's probably about 200 mil difference from front to back.
So we gently bring that over that big distance there. That'll look the business. Well, that's the plan anyway. But the patio is looking good. Yeah boy, no cross joints. It's looking well. So Chris and Nathan are just going to groove back some of this type 1 here, just so we've got enough depth so we can get some muck underneath these echo channels and they will stick down onto the type 1. If we put them in where it was at the height, they're going to be too high, so we'll just make a little channel and they'll sit in there a treat. Once they were in, I could set my line up from front to back. Jamie then went around and whacked the whole area that we were going to be laying on, and I laid the stretch through the centre. Right, so there's day 1 right there, ladies and gents. Now today we're going to be coming from here and going right the way up the driveway towards the drive. So we've come along to here. My idea today is to get right the way up here to this end. As you can see here, we've got some SBR. We mix in with that a bit of cement as well, so it really bonds to the bottom of the slabs. You give them a quick slash over the back of each slab. It gets the dust off the back of them, which makes it adhere to them a bit stronger. We also put some in the actual mix because SBR stops muck from shrinking. Once you put the weight of these slabs on, the SBR stops the muck from sinking as such over the time when it dries out. And they're heavy slabs, so you really need that in there to keep them good and strong and not drop, because you don't want to lay out a big patio and then in the morning some of the heavier slabs have just sunk down a bit, so it really helps them stop sinking down. So we're going to be using it in the mix and splashing some on the back of the slabs to get the dust off. So here is my first barrow of muck. Jamie's on the mix. Chicka chicka! So let's work our way along here. So now I work my way across, filling up nice full beds every time, wetting the slabs with a slurry, tapping them down, levelling them, making sure they work well to the echo channel, and breaking the bond every single time. We don't want any cross joints in this patio, not one, so I was keeping my eye out and making sure that we didn't get one anywhere. It's hard work, but somebody's got to do it.
And here we have the Jiggy, pretending to work.
I then started getting all of my cuts in, but the weather then took a turn for the worse, so we covered up in case we got a sudden downpour. Right, so we've come along here now, nice neat cuts all the way around the edge. And our cuts are right the way up to where we're going to be going off that way. We're going to leave that section up there now for a little while and carry on working down the bottom because we're still bringing stuff in this way. So we're going to work now along here, get these echo channels right the way down to where Mr. Robert is. And then we're going to start working this area. I'm going to come along, and now there's a fall on this coming this way. We need to sort of flatten it out a little bit, because at the moment you don't want the same fall as what we've got here on the path. So we're going to sort of come down and just gently bring it flatter there, but still have a very slight fall towards the echo channel. That way the water will then, any of the water that comes down will come down off the paving, go into the echo channel and not get into the man cave. So yes, Nathan's on the mix. It's another lovely warm day down here in Wales. So let's crack on, get these echo channels set up. There we go, there's our channels running through there. We haven't quite got the end. Jiggy's going to go and get a couple more channels so we can get through to the end. But you can see now the method, turning a bubble on there. So we've got a fall running down this way. Then we're going to go around with the borders. Rob's chose to do big one, small one, big one, small one. Which I know sounds confusing, but it does look a hell of a lot better. When you stand back and look at it, it does look the business. So that's what we're doing, the business. Oi, oi.
Slowly, slowly, catch a monkey.
So then we set out the width of the path and it was looking lovely. And also continued the border around the rest of the patio, which meant getting my string lines out, pulling them from front to back, putting some weight on them so the line was nice and tight, and then running them along. Small one, big one, small one, big one, right away from bottom to the top. I always work when I'm going up a hill from the bottom to the top. That way the blocks are always pushing downwards and you don't get any gaps. Once that was completed, it was time to run them along the Acco channel. I like to leave these just a nats higher than the channel. That way the water will drop down into it, no problem at all. I also like to put just a tiny little groove in the muck. That way it's got some way when you push it down for the muck to spread and compact. You don't have to whack it too hard. I ran my border right away to the end, installed the Acco channels and the T-piece so we could send the water even further down the hill.
Well, that's a huge amount of the patio now in. Rob made a few decisions about what he wanted to do out here in this back section here. He didn't want it completely patioed now. He wants to have a big grass section in the centre here. So we bordered all the way around here. This is all going to be grass in this section. The bond didn't quite work out exactly right to the slab when we got to this corner. It didn't work exactly right to keep this matched. So we've run an Acco channel now, doubled the border. That way we can break the bond over the other side of it. The Acco channels are running from right to left here to our T-piece corner, then down the hill. We're then going to be running a corner piece right here, an Acco channel across this section. It's going to disappear under the fence. Down here, we're going to pop that brick out, run a 4-inch pipe straight down there and then off down into the wilderness down there where it's a lot lower. And what we're going to be doing around the back is when I do this Acco channel through here, we'll double the border again. Then we're going to do a path along this section and a path all the way around the perimeter of the fence so you can access the fence. And then there's going to be a big grass triangle in the centre of that. So the second bit of the garden, it's going to look pretty cool as well. And we've still got some of the path to do, well, the side of the house to do up here as well. And the slabs are ending where the cladding changes there. This is where we're going to be finishing the patio style. And then the front is going to have a border all the way around. And this whole area at the front here is going to be tarmacked. And I think we're going to have a little bit of a wall either side. Right, so I've done a couple of short videos recently and I've been dotting the corners of the slabs. That's not how I've been laying them. I've been putting a full bed down every single one. I pick them back up and I did it just for a bit of bait, just to wind up a few people on the internet, because you know if you do something wrong, everybody comments on it. If you do something right, no one comments on it. So I did a couple of skip videos of me bodging stuff, but we pulled all of them up again. It only took a couple of seconds, bit of a laugh between the lads to see what reactions we would get. And yeah, it did really well, because on one of them I've had 1.9 million views. So the job was a success. Anyway, so this is how we really do it. Get a nice bed right the way across. I force it down a bit like this. Top it up where it needs it. So we've got a full bed underneath there. There's no gaps, there's no holes for any vermin or anything like that to get underneath there. It's a nice bed, just like that. Then I'll get myself my slab. And for this one, I'll be using what they call a coping down here. I'll just call it a long one. Then we get on with the what do they call it again? SBR. Quick wipe with the SBR, that gets the dust off the bottom. This has got SBR in it as well. As you can see, it's quite firm, it doesn't sink. Then I'll pop the slab down. And you can see it's just a touch high, and then I tap it down into place, and we know that's going to be good and firm. I then go across it with my level to see what they're like between them. I can see there's a very small gap here, but I have got a bit of a lump on this slab here, so
I'll go from this back edge, and that looks pretty damn good there. I think we're there. The other thing I'm trying to keep an eye on is to make sure this gap along here stays nice and even right the way through there, because it doesn't look good if you've got one that's closer and then one that's further away. It sort of gives it a jagged look. I know these are all jagged edge slabs, but I want to still keep that line as true as you can through there, and it looks nice and even, and it just looks a hell of a lot neater. Obviously that gap, I want that to be the same through there as well. I normally go about a width of my finger. As long as it's that, then I know we're pretty good. If it's the width of my finger, when we come to pointing, I know that we're going to get a decent amount in there. One last thing I like to do is scrape the edges out. That way I know we're going to get plenty of muck in there when we come to the pointing. Because if you haven't got enough in there, it's going to come out, it's going to break out easier. So I'll make sure there's a nice bit of a channel through there to fill up with muck. When I come to my next slab, I simply go along on my trowel like this to get it away from that edge, and this is almost the edge for my next slab. There we go. That is how I lay a slab. There we have it, a nice big chunk of that in there, all looking nice. Again, no cross joints anywhere, it's flowing nice. Now this Acco channel is running down this way. Obviously this one comes down here, and when I come to do this, it's got to go that way. So as I'm coming down here, I'm slowly going to bring that down that way so it flows down, and then it'll meet this Acco channel that goes off this way. I'm having to do that really gently, because otherwise it will look like so just flowing it down gently every little time. So every time I sort of get a line along, I'm just turning the bubble slightly, very little at a time, but it's a nice length to do it over. But you probably can't notice it there because it's that good. While I'm here, I thought I may as well show you what's going to happen up here in the loft. So this is going to be an office, and it is going to also be a walk-in wardrobe for Rob and his good lady. So they put in a big dormy window up here. So yeah, this is going to be pretty cool up here. But Rob's going to have his desk here, and then he can look out his window, look over his garden. So that's pretty cool, but there's still a bit of work to be done up here yet. But downstairs is really coming on really nicely. And from the kitchen area, it's also got a big pantry stroke utility room in here, which is really smart. Washer, dryer, loads of shelving and everything. So this is going to be pretty awesome as well. No expense spared. Oh, you can probably tell I'm looking a bit pale. Whether I ever sit down, I've just stabbed myself with a Stanley knife through me trainer, through my sock, into my foot. Oh, underneath there, the corner of the blade went in. Oh man, it's pissing out with blood underneath there. Oh, all the plaster's gone blood red, look, man. So let that be a lesson to anyone. Wear safety equipment, yeah? I'm floating around with a pair of trainers on site. I think I'm invincible. I made myself feel really ill. Oh, still feeling grey. There she is, straight through the letter. Straight through, I think it's gone through a vein. There's one that runs down there, I don't know. Ouch. Straight through my Huaraches, straight through my sock, straight into my foot. Here we go, look. So it went right the way into about there, look. Went in a good quarter of an inch, I suppose. The trainer, went straight through there, look. Bosh. Pins and needles now in my foot. Kev's lent me a pair, or give me a pair of socks to replace the hole in these ones. Show you that. There's the split. I know, I don't want sympathy. Me. But it's part of the vlog. Right, it's time to get back to it. I can't stop working, you know what I mean? Right, let's crack on, get this done. I'll show you what I was doing. I was cutting this bend, and you have to cut these pieces of plastic out. I was trying to cut this with a knife, and I slipped and it went through my foot. Anyway, show must go on. Right, so I've dug this right out now. I'm gonna throw some muck down there, because this has got a hole in the bottom, so I want that to sit in the muck. And these slots go into these little gaps here, so when I push it down, that'll slot in nicely, and then we'll be able to send our channel off this way. Then I'll chuck a bed down this way. I'll make sure there's none in this bit here, because I'm going to have to get involved with that in a minute and clip into it. But this time, this next one will push straight down on top of it. So that's 1 metre long. I'm also going to measure off of this slab here and this one, because I know they're parallel to each other. I want to keep them parallel there, because the distance from the end of that to this is exactly the border with the perp joint that the other end's got, and all the way around the edges. So that's perfect there, happy days. So now I'm going to slot this in, push it in tight, get the tops all nice and square of each other, these points, and tape measure out 195. That's exactly where it wants to be. The only thing I want to do now is make sure it's going down this way. I'm on my level, and it's exactly level at the moment, so I'm just going to give it a couple of taps down. Now it's turning the bubble. So that's the way we're going to run it down. Then I'll have to marry these slabs up to the drain. But I have been leaning it down that way now, so we shouldn't have a problem. Then in with the next one.
Sorry, I didn't know you were
195 there. Let's get that seated. We put our level on. It needs to go down quite a bit. There we go, that's turning the bubble again. Nice through there. Nice through there. Turning the bubble. Just check this measurement. 195 is what we're after. We've got 195. What we like for height here. I'm a little bit higher. I'm just going to bring this down a bit if I can. There we go, that's nice. That could come down a little bit. That's better. Yes. That's going to make that nicely now. There we go, there's all the covers on. So now I'm going to run my border around, then that'll be a small one, that'll be a small one, and I'm going to put something different in there. I'll probably put a small one and then a longer one to get it up to the line of the next border. And Ryan's just digging the trench there so we can get our outlet out and down the hill. Ryan, that extra type 1 you've got there, we can put that in this low bit here, bro. Yeah, that'll top that up lovely, because that bed's starting to get a bit big there. So that was the border sorted around the corner. We then plumbed in the pipe, put some fine stone around it and sand. Right, here we go then, let's see if the strain works. He tipped a bit of bucket of water up there a little bit a minute ago. All of that down there. Faster, faster, faster. There we go. Right, it's coming along. It's going round the corner. It's firing along here. Have we got this one yet? There it goes. There's a cigarette butt flying down there. Now we're going down the hill. It's coming back from that way. Let's follow it down. That needs clicking in. There we go. It's coming down here. It's coming round this corner. Here we go. Here it comes. It should be coming down the pipe now. Let's climb over the wall with my bad foot. Oh, look at that, I've just made it in time. Yeah, the water's coming out of there a treat. Happy days, the drain is working, mission success. So now we knew the drain was working all fine, I continued the border up along the fence line. So I'm having a little break from the patio job. Mob's got me down to an extension that they've started down here, so I've got a bit of block work and brickwork to do, I think. I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm doing yet, but I'm about to find out. Well, the boys have put a bit of an extension on the back here. The roof's been dormered. I'm going to get up on the scaffold and I can show you the view from this place because it's pretty damn cool. Well, the dormy window, where the window's there, it looks out over this. Nice view, hey, except for these houses here, but of course that's a nice view. Out there, I think it's called the Lucker Estuary. Lucker? I don't know, I can't speak Welsh. Lucker, is it? Well, I better get back down then and get my tools out because there's obviously something that needs doing here. Right, so what we've got to do is we've got a bird's mouth coming in here. So a bit of a plate and stuff going on here, so we need to put some bricks along this. Course of bricks right the way through this section. So we've got to go and get some of them. We've just measured out for them. I think it's about 24 through there. Same on the other side. It's exact mirror image of this. And then we've got to block up hard underneath these timbers off of this outside skin. Fire socks in and then brick, or we might be putting bricks in between here or a bit of a block. I'm not sure what we're going to use yet. But right the way round. It's about 50 odd blocks all the way along. We've got a bit of a build up here, another course needs to go on here. We've got a big lintel down there, big concrete lintel, and we've got a few bits to do around this side as well. Same sort of thing, just get up so it's hard up underneath this timber to give that some support for the overhang. So we haven't got any blocks or anything here yet, so we're going to go down to the wholesalers now, go and get all the bits and bobs we need. But Jiggy said it'll be about a half a day, but I think by the time we've got all the stuff here and got up here and done this and that, I think we're going to be more like, it's going to be more like a day. Right, so I'm going to be bumping this one on here a little bit, and then we're going to get 2 courses in here, then I'll plate. So we're a bit pigged here at the moment, so I'm going to get it all back to how it should be. So I've got my trowel out and started laying a few blockets. It's really nice to get on the trowel again. Haven't had a trowel laying a few bricks for a little while now, so happy days. Right, so we asked young Ryan to do us a favour because round the other side of the building there, it's a split course. So you get one of these and you cut it like so it's half and half, yeah? So Chris kindly said to Ryan, do us a favour, cut us a load of splits, cut them straight down the middle. Look what that ball bag done. He's cut them down the middle, but the wrong middle. He's cut them straight down the centre like that, when they should be cut down this way. Where are ya? He's hiding now, he's hiding in shame because he knows that he's going to get a whooping. Right, so Ryan, this is Ryan, but he has redeemed himself because I was working out of a muck tub. He's redeemed himself and he's got me some muck boards. So he's sort of turned it around a bit. So that was the first side completed. We then went round the other side, put the blockets on, and then did the plate as well. And also got all of the blocks up underneath the joists. There we go. There's our little jobs we had to do here, all sorted out. Now, back to the other job. And while I was away, the lads cracked on with a path up along the side of the house. And the fencing was going up too, which really finished it off. Right, so our next mission now is to do the borders all the way around the outside of this area. I'm going to get them all the way in, so I'll be setting my lines up off of this Acco channel here, right the way up to the corner, return it round. Probably do that bit of my level because it's only short there. Line, big line down the back, and then return it into this one, which should pick up the line which I've done all the way up there. We've left a little gap up there at the moment because there's one more fence post to go in, so there's no point in doing the border because I know what'll happen. We'll dig the post and the borders will all get knocked out, so we'll let them dig the post first, get the post in, then run that bit through. So gonna get some sand around here because we're running low, then we can crack on, get a mix going, and yeah, get these borders in. So on with the borders, the very last section of the job. Right the way around, I set up one each end, pulled my string line, got down a nice bed, made sure it was all flaunced up nicely, and run them in, small one, big one, right the way around. And funnily enough, it worked bond on most of the corners. Right, it's time for the food. We went up the calf, get some grub. Chris is on the burger. Chicken bap. What you got, Nave? Have a look at that one. He's got a triple. Mind your fingers. Tricky's gone for a burger as well. And a chicken sarnie to boot. Oi oi. And then back on with the slabs. This time it worked out a completely full slab and then a border either side. That was the size of the path we were using. The slabs were all slurried up and it worked out really, really nice. Little tap in there to get it to the right level, and it was a beautiful, beautiful path being formed right the way around the perimeter of the fence.
If you want a house built like this by master builders, not master baiters, and you're in the Swansea area, give us a call. RJ Brickwork Limited.
Well, here we go. Chris is coming in with the last slab while I'm going to be here. Just going to pop it in this one, put a bit of slurry on its back. There we go. Nice bit of SBR on the back, mixed with some cement. In it goes. Bosh. And that, ladies and gentlemen, it's the end. Oh, line. It's the end of Tricky's part. There's not much left to do, but I've got to go home. Looking good.
You want to put them ones in, son? Ones all the fucking thing. Oh, you see a picture?
And now I'm back home with my suitcase packed, because Tricky Bricky is heading off to Thailand to go and have a well-earned holiday. I hope you've enjoyed that episode, guys and girls. It's been a pleasure making that one. Don't forget to check out the holy water, and I'll see you very, very soon when I'm back from my travels. Peace out and pow.
No Hubiera pensado que yo me iba a enamorar, jamás no quería saber nada más, nunca.